everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoyed. And my guest for this week is somebody whose stories I have read in many anthologies. And now she has come out with her debut book, and I'm very excited to finally have her on the show. I have been asking her to come on the show, but she always insisted that she would like to come on the show when she has her own book, and now it's finally happening. So I'm very excited to have her on the show. So do stay connected. It's going to be a really exciting episode. I think my guest is already here. Let me just invite her. If you have received it, if not, I'll send you a French invitation. Sometimes Instagram doesn't let you send the invitation and accept it at one go. Okay, I don't think the invitation has gone through. Lalitha, can you let me know in the comments whether the invitation went through? By that time, let's wait for a few people to join us. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Smita. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Lalita has not received the invitation. Let me just send a fresh one. Lalita, I sent you a fresh invitation. See if that came through.
Yay, I
Hi.
made it.
Hi. Yay. And we can see each other. That's a major achievement.
Yay.
Hi. So everyone is saying hi to us. So I'm just going to say a quick hi to Smita and Natasha. Thank you guys for joining us. Hemangini is also here. Hi, Hemangini. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So first of all, welcome to the show. Very happy to have you here.
Thank you, Manali. I'm super excited to have finally made it. It's been a long wait, but
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes, I was just telling the audience that I have been wanting to have you on the show for a while because I've read your stories in so many anthologies. But you kept saying that let me have a book of my own to be on the show, and
I
I'm
wanted
so
to
happy.
I wanted to earn my place here with you.
Okay, and how sweet Natasha is saying, I see two awesome peeps here. Thank you so much, Natasha. Khushbu is also here. Hi, Khushbu. Thank you for joining.
Hi, girls. Hi, girls.
And before we go further ahead, I just want you to quickly introduce yourself to the audience first.
So I'm Lalitha Ramanathan. I used to work in finance, and then one day I said I'm more passionate about words than about reading books than keeping books. So I shifted my schedule to writing. I followed blogs. I started interacting with writers. I started writing a lot about my muse, my daughter, and then suddenly I had so much of material. I decided to write a book, and here I am.
Lovely. On that note, let us just show everyone the book that we are going to talk about today. And I have the cover here since I've read the ebook. And this is the ebook cover. And Lalita, of course, has the paperbacks. It's a lovely cover, very bright, very vibrant. I like the color combination of the yellow and multiple colors in the font. So nicely done.
Thank
And
you.
of course, since it's a parenting book and you're talking about your daughter, we have a mother and daughter on the cover. Very nice, very apt. Cute cover.
It was designed by the book bakers for home books. Yeah, so I just
Okay.
wanted a very personal, intimate kind of picture with the little comic font as well.
Yeah, and it comes through. And talking about the book, see, I am not a parent, but I have always felt that parenting is no easy feat, and you have shown that through the chapters in this book in a very funny, very honest, unfiltered manner. As I have mentioned in my review also, that it is the child that gives the birth to the parent. We keep forgetting that. We always feel that the parents know better. They are wise and they should know everything about raising a child, but actually, they are also learning on the go as the child is growing. And that is something that comes through very nicely through your book. And though I'm not a parent, I had the realization that, I should not be so harsh on my parents and look at them through a new lens. Surely I have not been an easy child. So,
Neither have
yeah.
I, and I realize it only now.
And yeah, so very, very nicely unfiltered version of parenting. And you have also brought in the complexities of modern day parenting, which I am sure parenting has only grown more complex with changing technology, and we see a lot of technological aspects also in the many chapters, and how you struggle with the restricting your child with the screen timing, and how would you manage without it. So yeah, it's a fun ride. Like you have also said, the technology is a necessity. It's an evil
Yeah.
necessity.
Yeah. It is
Because you want
definitely.
your child to not have that much screen time, but that you don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
So
correct,
that
correct.
becomes another struggle. And
Absolutely.
one of the things that stood out to me was that despite our books being in the same subgenre, they are very different, but yet there are similarities. And
You're
there is
very
one
similar.
particular chapter.
Very similar.
I mean, mine is also a non-fiction humor and semi-memoir kind of a thing. Yours is a proper memoir. Yeah, it's yours is on parenting. Mine is on making fun of myself. So you have also done that, but
Yeah.
mine does not include parenting at all. But there are a few things that are overlapping, and one of the particular chapters is something that I'm going to read out from. I think it is from the 15th chapter, if I'm not forgetting, my memory is not giving me a date. I think it is from the 15th chapter, and this particular section is subtitled "Auntie, you aren't too old for social media." So I'm going to read
Ouch.
it out.
Ouch.
And
That's
see, I've
always.
highlighted it also so that I don't forget. See, I've highlighted it. We are going to come to what the similarity is later on, because there is one particular snippet from my book also which talks about this being labeled as an auntie in your 30s. So I'm going to read out now. Social media is a double edged sword, granting validation but creating anxiety. The simplest solution would be to ignore it, but despite your best attempts, it finds a way to pop back into your life. A lot like the annoying aunt you want to avoid at family functions but bump into without fail. To survive on social media, one must cultivate massive amounts of self restraint. I admire people who are silent spectators. They read everything but never comment. They deserve an award for self control. On my feed, I follow many influencers who are perfectly coiffed and well attired. Imagine my astonishment when I learned that some were mothers who had just had babies. Here they were doing perfect push ups with their adorable mopeds strapped to their backs. In contrast, after my delivery, I resembled something the washing machine spat out in the spin cycle. I had always harbored the impression that social media was for the young and trendy. And therefore, the reverse was true. Being on social media made you young and trendy. I was in for a surprise when a member of Gen Z told me otherwise. The fateful incident occurred when we were at a gathering with our friends. A tween plonked herself next to me. She caught me skimming through my Facebook feed. Do you still use Facebook, auntie? I recoiled at the word auntie, and not without reason. Many years ago, a popular Indian advertisement aired on television. The protagonist, a woman in her 30s, was addressed auntie because of her silvery mane. She dramatically winced in slow motion, then coated her hair with a popular hair dye. In a reverse aging transformation, people started to call her Didi, meaning elder sister, instead. The average Indian woman developed an aversion to the word auntie after this advertisement. Some marketing geniuses must have won awards for this campaign, but they traumatized an entire generation of women. I ignored the tween's tiny aggression. Her blatant disregard for Facebook, which was my sacred altar of self expression, shook me. If not Facebook, what do you use? I asked hesitantly. Instagram, of course. All my friends are on it. The troublemaker declared proudly. Oh, I have Instagram too. I hesitantly admitted, hoping to make an impression. The fact that I barely used it was irrelevant. That's when my radar beeped red. Wait, aren't you too young to be on social media? I have to go. Bye. The terrible tween vanished. Did I scare her off, or did she scare me? We will never know. And now for the relevance on why this is similar to my book, I'm just going to go to my book and pick out the one which resembles this. That tiny little snippet. Wait, I'll have to do a quick search on my Kindle.
But do you
Yes.
remember this ad, Manal? I don't know if many people. This
I
is a
remember,
Godrej
I
hair
remember, yes,
dye.
I do
It was
remember.
so dramatic. One gray hair, and everybody's auntie, and she acts as though. It was so traumatic.
So this is the snippet that reminded me of this particular chapter from your book also. One of the tiny joys that I have mentioned in my book is being called Didi,
Yeah.
eldest sister, instead of auntie by someone who is significantly younger than me. And then in the illustration, I have shown myself talking to a younger boy, and the boy is asking me, Didi, can I get your maid's number? I'm looking for a house help. And I am replying, I want to say bless you, dear, but I guess that will put me from the Didi into the sari clad misogynistic auntie bracket. And the caption says they really should come up with a law about referring only those who are older than you by 18 years or above as auntie or uncle.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So I was like, man, I get you. I get what you are saying when the little tween called you auntie. I was like, oh no, I'm not auntie. I'm still Didi. So
No,
yeah,
that's why I
thank you.
found so much of relatability between your book. I know we're like two separate, like I'm talking about my daughter, but you're talking about your life and slice of life. But there was so much of similarity. Like we are both are the main characters in our book, and we are like
Exactly.
living in our
Yes.
own bubbles,
Yes.
right? We pop
Yes.
bubbles, we love rainbows, we love the rain, we love nature,
Yes.
and we love food.
Yes. That's another struggle that we both have. Yeah. Okay. So based on my reading, I had a few questions for you, Lalita. Would you be kind enough to answer those?
Sure.
Okay, so my first question to you is, I was very intrigued by the prologue, and then in the acknowledgements, and you have mentioned how this book came about. So my first
Yeah.
question to you is, did you write these anecdotes as and when they happened, or was there always a plan to convert them into a book? And if you worked on them later, share with us what helped you recall the incidents and pen them down from memory, and what tweaks did you make in the name of creative liberty? Because you have also mentioned in the acknowledgement that your daughter and your husband do not recall these incidents the way you do.
Right. So that's a great question. To answer your question, no, when I first started penning these anecdotes, I really didn't think of it as a book, or even I never thought I'd become a writer as well. It was just a way of, say, stress relief and expression, creative expression. I always used to love writing in my younger years, but then, I followed the rat race, became an engineer, did my MBA, started a corporate life, all of that, right? So I think sometime in 2016, 17, we had moved house. So my daughter was 4 or 5, we had moved house. And we
Hmm.
were in this new house surrounded by boxes, okay? And you know how house moving is, it's so
Right.
messy and the
Yeah.
beds were barely set up and nobody could find anything. And I'm surrounded by boxes and my 5-year-old comes to me and says, I want to find my teddy bear. I don't care. You have to open all the boxes. My teddy bear is missing and that is the most important thing in my life.
Hmm.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't know where the pots and pans are. I don't even know where the bed sheets are. I can't even find my toothbrush and you want your teddy bear. I found it so absurd, and instead of shouting or screaming, I just started laughing. I found it just, and she started laughing too. It was just so cute. And then we didn't say any teddy bear that night.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. But then we put her to bed, and then I was like thinking about it. So I just went to Facebook and just typed a few lines saying that, how I wanted Aladdin's magic lamp to sort the mess at
Wow.
home,
Okay.
and how everything is such a mess. I just wrote that article and then I went to bed. I didn't think much about it. But the next day when I woke up, there was so much of activity on my phone. Like there were many mothers who were saying, I've been there, done that. Oh my God, this is so us. We can totally relate to this conversation. And they were adding their anecdotes.
Hmm.
So again, Amma loves validation-itis. I have that. So it became addictive. So I started posting more and more fun anecdotes about what, my interactions with Munchkin, conversations, or
Hmm.
Mama did a boo boo kind of moments. They were only short snippets, like 50 to 80 words, not more than that on Facebook. But the kind of responses that they generated was phenomenal. Like you had mothers coming in and saying that, oh, look, it's happened to me, don't stress,
Hmm.
or coming with
Hmm.
advice. And there was this community. Because for many of us, we don't want advice, right? Because there's
Yeah.
so many people giving us advice. What we want is validation and comfort that, nobody's gotten it perfect. We're
Yeah.
just there for each other and we're just winging it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was the beginning of it. And then I started posting on a weekly basis. At the end of 2 to 3 years, I had amassed quite a collection. Then mothers were like my friends were like, if you have so much, why don't you put it in a structure? Why don't you put it in a format? So I really didn't have to recollect much because it was all there on different
Hmm.
social media and blogs. And I just collated it, gave it some kind of
Okay.
structured
Yeah.
format to make it a memoir. And then it became a book. Now, to your second question, which is okay, so the husband and the child may have a different recollection, that's fine. but I can tell you that everything in this book is true. The way I have presented it might be a little different, might be a bit exaggerated, a bit whimsical, but it is true. Of course, they may come to me saying that, oh my God, I did not throw a tantrum. I am accommodating. I am amazing. I am patient. Don't believe a word of it. Do not believe a word of it. That was not true. And in my book, I've written recollections may vary, and this is a line from Buckingham Palace. Like when there was a feud in the family, the palace said that okay, we understand things got messed up, but recollections may vary. So I maintain the stance. These things happened, tantrums were thrown, and Mama Angel had to sort it all out. So there we are.
Oh, nice. So, 2016, and you mentioned that your daughter was 4 then, but there are some incidents before that time also. How did you recollect those?
So those were okay. Um, So it's not in chronology, okay? This is like
Okay.
up, like, and I didn't really post on a real time basis. Like I might suddenly remember, like if it's Navratri, for example,
Mhm.
I may remember something that happened 2, 3 Navratris ago and randomly post. So it was
Okay.
always there in different, in a chronological, not in a chronological order. And then some things I had to go back, like my delivery. Yeah, there's no way I'm forgetting my delivery for the
Yeah.
amount of pain that I went through. So that was very clear in my mind. So some of these experiences were reconstructed from memory, but most of it was already there in the form of blogs and conversations and all
Okay.
of that. It was already
Oh,
there.
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. So you already had a digital diary of sorts for the
Yeah.
book. Yeah. That,
Yeah.
lovely. That's a good way of collecting your content. I would say, because that is something I also do. I come up with my book ideas based on my social media content or my blog content, and that's something that's really worked for me. And I'm very happy to know that you have also gone that way.
Yeah.
Okay, which brings me to my second question, which is that I have also written a humorous book, and it is not an easy task to be funny on paper. And so, humor is very tricky to capture on the page. How did you ensure that your anecdotes land as funny for readers? And what advice would you give to aspiring writers who want to turn their personal experience into something like this, which is relatable, funny, and engaging stories?
Yeah. All right. So humor. So when I started this writing journey, I wasn't even sure whether I would be able to write at all. So I just wanted to experiment with different formats. So I joined writing groups. So like Momspresso, there used to be this blogging platform for moms called Momspresso. Then I joined a group called Penmancy, and I experimented with different genres. So sometimes I tried to hand at thriller, slice of life, humor, and among all the genres, I think I got the best appreciation and the best satisfaction out of humor. Like I
Okay.
really found out, I mean, I found a lot of joy in creating humorous content because humor is so huge. Like you have comedy, satire, you have slapstick, but I just found a lot of joy in creating wordplay and puns and leaving clever or red herrings and clever clues across my works. And I don't think any other genre had that kind of impact basis the literary feedback or the critique I received from my friend circles. um, and that's how I started on it. And then I was already writing about my child, and I was like, okay, if I'm making a debut, this is a passion project because this is what rekindled my love for writing. Like I always used to write, I gave up because I got busy with life, and then this happened. And it always has a special place in my heart, not only because it's my debut, but because of that special connection that I have between me and my daughter. It's like a love
Yeah.
letter to my daughter,
I'm
right?
just going to pause you here. Just a second. Vijay is here is saying it's not audible. So I'm just going to ask everyone in the audience, are both of us audible? Can you let us know, whoever is in the audience? Because Vijay has just commented here that it's not audible. If anyone can let us know. Natasha, Nilshri, are we both audible?
Sangeeta is saying it is.
Okay. Yes, please continue. Yes.
Okay.
Smita is also confirm. Yes.
So in a way, I think humor chose me because then I realized that this is the place I want to be in, right? Because it takes a bit of experiment for a writer to decide what they want to do. Do they want to be a mythological fiction writer, historical fiction writer, whatever? And for me, that particular thing was humor, right? Humor and
Mhm.
slice of life in particular.
Mhm.
So, and that was great because my debut was also about that tender musings with a pinch of humor and jokes thrown in. So it kind of fit well. And to answer your question in terms of humor, I think most important, and you're a humor writer too, right? Given your fit melt, I would say pacing is important. The
Mhm.
rhythm, like you need to know when to deliver that aha moment or that punch, right? And pacing is important. The rhythm is important. And the content is important. You don't want to drag your feet so much that the reader loses interest and forgets the comedy. And I
Yeah.
think comedy as a genre is very diverse. Like you have
Mm.
satire, you have that subtle humor, you have
Yeah.
on the face kind of humor.
Yes.
But what I'm seeing of late is that there's this growing trend, like particularly in comedy shows, where humor comes from body shaming or vulgar
Hmm.
jokes or being offensive. And I am not a fan of that at all.
Same. Yeah.
I would just tell writers of humor, keep it simple, keep it relatable, keep it personal, keep it quirky. Something that will really land. And if you have to over explain a joke, then it's probably not a joke at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. And also, I am a big promoter of self-deprecating humor. किसी और का मजाक क्यों उड़ा रहे हो? खुद का ही उड़ाओ. There's so many cores about you.
Then nobody will get offended, no?
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, Sangeeta is saying Lalita is so funny even in our WhatsApp conversations. Oh, I would like a sneak peek into that. I
No,
want to
no, no. I have told my friends that if anything were to happen to me, please delete all our conversations, get my phone, because otherwise I'll have to go to some witness protection program somewhere for the kind of chats that I
Okay. Oh, nice. Thank you so much for that lovely advice. I think you're right. Keeping it true and honest, and most of all, I feel if you have a funny bone in you, which all of us somewhere have, you have
yeah,
to just give it some, nurture it like a plant. You have to keep nurturing it and use that, your real life humor on paper. It's just about converting that humor into stories or something that can make people or people can find funny.
yeah.
Natasha is saying I have screenshots. She's already blackmailing you.
If I'm going on, sister, we're going on together because there have been congratulations.
I'm taking everyone down with me.
Taking everyone down.
Okay, that brings me to the end of my questions that I had for you. Lalitha, you have also read my recent book, My Jeans Fit Well, and the ice cream didn't melt. Please, the floor is now yours.
Okay. Firstly, I just loved your book. It's like at times I wondered if you were talking about me because a lot of so there are a lot of similarities as I mentioned. Like in terms of you have mentioned that whenever you travel you feel like you're an indie heroine. I feel that too. Like I feel like I'm part of some movie of self discovery and I'm going to go and discover the next big thing, right? And the simple joys of nature really delight me. So I love the fact that you're referencing the sky, the night sky, or rainbow that heals all the emotional damage, and all of those simple pleasures. And yeah, even in your, what happened when I opened your book, I think I saw there's this acknowledgement that no joke with your husband. Oh God, I do it all the time with my husband. And I'm like, I showed it to him and I was like, look, I'm not the only one doing it. Everybody does it. So grin and bear it. So it's just that when I go through it, so it's basically your life in these pages, and you come across as a very warm and relatable and witty person, and
Thank you.
somebody who loves life, right? I can see that that love for life, that love for simplicity, and little things. Little things make you happy.
Bring this to
Yes,
everyone.
it's a lovely cover. I have it here on my Kindle. Yeah, I'll just open in a minute.
Yeah.
And of course, I love the quirks.
Thank
It's
you.
a
Thank you.
lovely cover, and I mean, the resemblance is striking.
Yeah, no, thank you. I tried to make the girl on the cover look as much as myself as I could. So yeah, I'm very happy that it's coming across. Yes, it's Manali on the cover.
True. And I also love the fact that, unapologetic love for whom you are, whether you're being called auntie or whether you're like being called Didi or whether you love waffles. I mean, I would marry Mysore Pak on the spot, just like you love waffles. I would marry Mysore Pak on the spot. Yeah, hopefully my husband isn't listening to this, but yeah. So there's so much that I could, I think many of us would relate to it. Yeah. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up a few of the. So how are we going to do this? Because I'm going to read out your illustrations. So yeah.
I will show everyone what you are reading out so that they get a reference of what the book is about. You
Okay.
just tell me the letter that you are reading, and I'll go to
G
that.
G. I will. Let's go to G.
Okay. And which one from J? Can you tell me the first word?
I love this one. Getting done with a long time pending task.
Ah, yes, found it. Please read out. I will scroll
Okay.
through that page.
Okay. So the first task. Okay. The getting done with a long time pending task. Um, I can't believe I had been stuck on that for weeks. Turns out all it needed was a little fixing. mentally thinking of what to do on the supposed 10-day break I deserve to take after this.
So this is the snippet that Lalita has read out, and that this is the illustration that goes with it. And there's a little caption also. Thank you so much, Lalita. And I am so glad you found that relatable because yes,
Because
sometimes
I
we are.
have a to-do list. I have a to-do list, and that satisfaction when you strike out items. Oh my God, I cannot tell you that.
Oh, Sangeeta has a suggestion for you. She's saying better start calling Naveen as Mysore Pak.
He will actually see this, Sangeeta. Okay. Um, so the next in the G is the gifts. It's the next one.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially those items that are from my things to buy list, so I don't need to buy them anymore. Okay, and then the dialogue goes like, God, I hope this isn't another fancy pen because I have enough to start my own stationery shop at this point. Did no one remember that I need new shoes? Pen is mightier, but shoes are chicer. No, we are very grateful, but we have a registry, so next time please follow the registry, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Oh well. And the next one, getaways to places I've long been waiting to visit or happening just when I needed the break. I wonder how the view from the mountaintop will be. Gosh, I can't believe I'll finally visit the place I've been watching on YouTube and Instagram for years. How much is too much to pack for a 10-day trip? 90% excitement, 10% wondering if I packed enough outfits to not get photographed in the same clothes twice.
Oh my God, to not get photographs in the same clothes twice is like a constant conundrum in my mind. And I have this mental checklist in my head where I am thinking with every outfit, इस outfit में मेरा photo आ चुका है तो ये नया नया नहीं है पुराना है अगर किसी ने देखा नहीं है photo then it's still new.
And see, the advantage that I've had, like, advantage of traveling with the kid. I mean, there are a lot of disadvantages, but the major advantage is, like, when you want to pose for a photo and you want to cover your tummy, so chalo bacha aa jao. And then you put your kid in front of you and use them as a
Seriously,
prop,
yeah.
as a tummy shield.
Nice. Sangeeta is saying lovely illustrations. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. Okay. Yeah, I believe you also had a few questions for me. Please, let's continue.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the first question. So your work is a graphic novel and it combines, say, visual elements and text, right? So how, and this is a bit of an unconventional format, right? So storytelling format,
Hmm.
whereas my memoir is more conventional. So why did
Yeah.
you choose this particular format? What can you walk us through your process, and how did you visualize it? Like, how did you say, okay, this is the moment I'm going to take, and this is what is going to come out, and how am I going to land the humor and that aha moment?
Yeah. So, like you, for me, the conception of this book began in sometime in 2020 and 21 based on social media. I used to put out posts on social media, hashtag silly things that make me happy. And they got really, really popular. I was only putting out things thinking that चलो मेरा भड़ास निकल रहा है कि मुझे आज के दिन में ये छोटी सी खुशी इस चीज से मिली. But then when I started sharing them on, a bi-weekly or once a week, when I started sharing those posts, they received a lot of resonance. People were able to relate to it a lot. And that gave me, that sparked the idea that maybe this can be something bigger. Maybe this can be more than just social media posts. The seed was sown at that time, but and I started making a list. I was just making pointers at that time because on the social media post hashtag silly things that make me happy used to go, and below that just the pointer that I wanted to say. Very simple creative format, picture format. There was nothing else at that time, so I started listing those down in a Word document. But while I was mulling over the idea of converting this into a book, I
Yeah.
always had the thought at the back of my mind that just these words won't do. To add something more to this, I will have to have a pictorial representation of what I'm trying to show, because that is going to be the more funnier part. This over and above just the words that I'm putting out in the pointers or the snippets that I want to highlight on, I would have to explain why this particular thing made me happy. Why and how in my life is it relevant? This particular silly thing that made me happy. Why is it relevant in my life? And how did that aha moment happen in my life to be able to convert that particular moment into silly things that make me happy?
Okay.
So the idea was always there. But in 2020-21, some things happened and I lost my social media account, and I also lost my confidence in the content that I was trying to build upon with this book. In fact, I lost two back-to-back Instagram accounts in within a span of 1 year, and I stopped doing those posts completely because I had lost my account. For a while, I was not creating content online at all because you are shattered. You are
Yeah, yeah,
questioning
yeah, yeah.
everything about yourself. At that point, you are like, why? What is the point of all this if it's going to go in a flash of a second? If it's everything,
Correct,
yeah,
correct.
all your hard work of years is going to go away. What is even the point? So I that became a draft folder में पड़ा रहा वो बहुत time तक. And then cut to 2024. I was having a chat with one of my guests on Author Collaborative itself, one of these episodes itself. And I was asking her, what are you working on? I enjoy her fiction work a lot. And I have been always telling and asking her, why haven't you converted these fiction stories into a book? Because, there's an audience beyond your blog also who would want to read it. And
Yeah,
through books, your fiction can get a wider audience. And she was like, yes, I already have a plan to do that, Manali. And thank you for asking. And then she was like, I am going to use the upcoming blogging challenge. So this was somebody who's part of the blogging community that I'm a part of,
yeah,
Blog Chatter. And we have this writing challenge every year in the month of April, where we are supposed to use each letter of the English alphabet to create one post around that particular alphabet for all the days of April. Like 26 alphabets, 26 days of April, you have to write something related to that particular letter. And that gave me the motivation actually to restart working on these particular snippets that I already had, a list of in my draft folders, but I had forgotten about it
yeah,
completely.
yeah,
I was like, this is a good time to test it out. I wanted to first, gain that confidence back
yeah.
in that particular content. So I use that challenge as my testing board for trying out this content again after a gap of 4 or 5 years. So
Okay.
in that particular blogging challenge, I used the points that I already had. There were already some 50 of them I already had. Okay, so I those 50 I used, and over and above that, I started, making a list alphabetically itself. In the
Okay.
blogging challenge, for each letter, I used only 5 pointers. But in the book, I
Okay.
have used 6 pointers for each particular letter. There are six point snippets that I have mentioned.
Hmm.
So as part of that challenge, I was already collating all that and using the ones I already had and trying to come up with new ones. By the end of the challenge, I already had about 5 into 26. My math is bad, so please tell me. 26 into 5, that makes,
130.
yeah, 130 I already had. Wow. So see, you are the math wizard, not me. So I had 130 of those. And another thing that happened during the challenge was I was also testing out what kind of graphics would work well with each
Huh.
snippet. So for the challenge, what I did was I used a mix of black and white as well as colorful illustrations. For the black and white ones, there were already some bits available on Canva and other,
Yeah.
uh, picture editing platforms. A few black and white storyboard telling kind of comic strips were already available. I used those. And for the colorful ones, what I did was I used my own photographs and converted them into animated versions through editing apps. There are a lot of apps that are available where you can use your own photographs and convert them into animated versions,
Okay.
like cartoonish kind of representation of your own photographs. So I did those two things, and for each post I was doing only two graphical representations. I mentioned earlier that there were 5 points for each
Yeah.
alphabet, but out of those five I was only using images for two. Illustrated versions were there only of two. So by
Hmm.
the end of the blogging challenge, I had 130 pointers and a few illustrations, but not all 130. I was just
Okay.
testing out, as I mentioned. So when the challenge ended, I reached out to the people who were regularly following these blogs.
Okay.
And during the blogging challenge, also, I was getting very, very positive response. A lot of people were already commenting on the blog post itself that, this needs to be converted into a book because this is very funny and very relatable and people would enjoy reading it. So I was already kind of self-confidence थोड़ा तो आ ही गया था वापस ये content
Huh.
पे.
Huh.
But when the challenge ended, I reached out to those particular people who had commented these things that, we
Yeah.
want to see it into a book. honestly ask them that did you just say that for being kind, or just for the
Yeah.
sake of engagement. I asked them very honestly, and they said yes, we really do think that this is it's good to be converted into a book. So that instilled another confidence, another plus one level of self confidence in the content. And then I asked them the second most important question, which is, did you enjoy the illustrations that were colorful more, or did you enjoy the black and white ones more?
Yeah.
And across the board, unanimously, everyone said the black and white ones worked better. And I'm very
Oh,
glad I listened to that. And actually, I asked that and I listened to the people who, opined on that. Because I don't think colorful graphics would have worked as well as the black and white have worked. I have seen across the board, for whoever who has read the book, they have loved the illustrations and they have actually connected to it so well because it looks like a comic strip and it has
yeah.
that nostalgia factor in it. So I'm very happy that I chose black and white instead of colorful. And as for the inspiration behind the illustrations, uh, I was saying earlier that I had used my own photographs as reference
Yeah.
to convert them into at that time it was colorful graphic representation, animated versions of my photographs. But then I
Okay.
continued using those, and then I once I decided to use Gemini. I used those photos as a reference and put the prompts in Gemini as per the features that I could see in those photographs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Smita,
There's a lot of
thanks so
thought.
much.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of thought that has gone in. I mean, yeah, because we just see the final product and we think, oh wow, it's so effortless, but you don't see the amount of effort that the
yeah.
writer has put. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much. We were getting a lot of hearts, so I'm just going to say a blanket thank you to everyone who has been sending hearts during my response. And Smita is saying so much thought and experimentation. Thank you so much, Smita. Sangeeta is also saying, wow, so much hard work has gone into. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. Uh, Smita is asking, Manali, did you do the illustrations yourself? Okay, I'm just going to deviate and add on to the topic actually, because a lot of people have asked about the illustrations. So, in the beginning of the book itself, I have written a long as disclaimer where I've said that I have used Google Gemini as my collaborator for the illustrations in this book. And there are multiple reasons why I chose that. One of the biggest reasons was that uh, it was not in my budget to hire an illustrator on from my own end. Uh, because this is not a one illustration book. I had an illustration for every snippet that I'm talking about. So we are talking about uh, 162 illustrations because there are 162 snippets in the book. And that, besides over and above that, I also needed somebody to do the book cover. So that would be 163 illustrations in all. And if I had to hire someone, the budget would have been so much that I was just, because I'm a Gujarati, मैं सीधा return on investment गिनती हूँ. So in my head, I was constantly thinking, if I put in this much, it's not going to come back to me for at least a year or 2 years. So I'm like, no, that's not something as an indie author I can afford to do. That's not something I want to put my money into. I would rather put that money into promoting the book after it is released. That's something I can actually see returns on in a more concrete manner. And also another factor was that each illustrator that I talked to, each visual artist that I was speaking to, they had their own, timelines of working on such illustrations. I wanted to put the book out as soon as possible within a time frame of, say, 2 to 3 months or maximum 4 months. But all of them were saying it will take at least 6 months or 8 months, and that is not something that I had in mind as a vision for this book. So these two major reasons I chose to go with Google Gemini. And I also had some friends who were backing me. They suggested that use Google Gemini because it has a very good outcome. And I just tested out one or two illustrations. I really loved the outcome, and then I decided to use Google Gemini as my collaborator, and I absolutely love the results that have come out.
And how easy was it? Like sometimes AI can be very stubborn when it comes to what you visualize and I mean what you want and what is generated. So how did you navigate that?
Yeah, so Pinky here is also asking lots of hard work, but you tamed Gemini well. Thank you so much. And for that, I only have uh, uh, of course, my own patience, but I have somebody else to thank also. I have a friend, Siddhant Agarwal. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but just a quick shout out to him, because he was the one who directed me to this particular app for generation of the illustrations. And once I was inside Google Gemini, I just went crazy. I was like, ये तो जादू जैसा है कुछ. Why didn't I come across this before? Why didn't I think of this before? So how I came to tame it is that in my head, as I was mentioning earlier, I've used my own photographs as a reference point. So I knew
Yeah.
what elements I wanted in the photo, in the illustration. I knew what elements are those that I want to highlight in that particular illustration. So those were very clear in my prompts, that if I want to show a woman who's standing in a flower field, that is something that I clearly wanted to show. And then I focused on what she was wearing. So one common prompter for each of the illustration was how the woman I wanted to look in all those illustrations. So I focused on my own body, physical body attributes. Like I have specs, so that is one thing that was uniform across all 162 illustrations. Whenever I was putting the prompt, I was putting a bespectacled woman in her 30s. She has a pear-shaped body, or she's curvy, and so the physical attributes were something that were common through all of them. And then I focused on what she was wearing. In all of them, you see she's wearing different outfits as per the seasons, because the photographs that I have used are those that I have clicked across many seasons throughout the last 3 4 years, and those are the references that I've used. I've also focused on all of that, and if my husband was there, I also know what his physical attributes are like, so I use those again. Like he's much taller than I am, so I knew that the height difference has to be very very obvious in all of the illustrations where husband and wife are shown. So that height difference is one thing, and then he's comparatively much leaner than I am. So that again became another physical attribute that I wanted to show. That I wanted to be very much visible in the illustrations. That the woman is pear shaped and the husband is tall and lean. So that is another physical attribute that I added in the prompt. That there is a woman, she's in her 30s, she has a pear shaped body, she's with her husband who's taller than her, but he's lean. So
Oh.
that came across. So that's how I tamed it. So yeah, once you have clear vision in your head, I think
Yeah.
using the using AI for your generation of illustrations or images becomes easier when you have a clear image in your own head and you know what prompts you want to give,
Yeah.
or you want what result you want in the final image. That becomes easier.
Absolutely. Yep.
Geeta
Yep.
Lakshmi is saying, your work on the prompt engineering POV shows in the book it's not easy to get the exact picture in our mind using AI tools. You did a great job there. Thank you so much, Sita Lakshmi. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And validation coming from people of my own community means a lot to me, because there's a lot of chatter going around, the negative chatter going around the use of AI. So
Absolutely.
that's why it was very important for me to put it to be as honest as
Yeah.
possible in the kind of usage that I have done with AI in the book. That's why I have put it in the disclaimer first thing itself. People should not be, feeling that this is AI generated and it should not be discarded as such,
Yeah.
because a lot of
Yeah.
thought and a lot of
Absolutely.
hard work has gone into it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you so much, Sheeta. Okay, I think we are done with
The
both our
long form
questions.
question. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we come to the fun part, my favorite bit, which is the rapid fire round. So how we'll do this, Lalita, is we'll do back and forth. One question I ask, one question you ask. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
ready? My first question to you is,
Yes.
in one sentence, describe how writing about parenting has changed your relationship with your daughter.
So my daughter was first my muse, then she was amused, and now she's my copyright lawyer demanding I give her whatever royalty I earn on this book because she is the heroine of the book.
Oh, wow. I love her. Okay, then I have a follow-up question not related to the rapid fire round, but I had this in my mind for a while. You have not used her name anywhere. So could you please tell us what her name is and why haven't you used it anywhere in the book?
I think two reasons. Her name is there in one place. It's in my it's in my dedication.
Yeah.
Her name is Lakshmi. I named her Lakshmi after Sita Lakshmi, my grandmother, and it's also my mother-in-law's name. So Sita Lakshmi, Lakshmi. We call her Lakshmi. One is also to protect her privacy, but as my husband says, I'm a very public, private person. Like I'm busy sharing out all the details, but I have to be very private about it. So public, private. So I don't share her photos in general. I don't really use her name a lot, but I just wanted like a generic name so that any mother could, or father could relate to it. Like anybody's Munchkin, right? Just replace Munchkin with whatever their child's name is. So to
Yeah,
keep it generic and open, and also to protect my daughter's privacy. Yeah.
lovely. And Natasha, thank you so much. She's also just saying, I wanted to say I love the images you have used. Thank you so much, Natasha. Okay, your turn.
Your favorite sound effect to draw in a panel? Is it zip, zap, zoom? What is it?
I think Zoom. Yeah. Yeah. Sita Lakshmi is saying, I hear you as a public, private person myself. She's related to your your decision of not using your daughter's name. Yeah.
Because in comic books, I think the most fun part used to be that vroom vroom, all the sound effects, right? Like the
Yeah.
superhero comics, yeah. So
Yep,
that was
yep.
what I was reminded because I don't read a lot of graphic novels, and whatever I've read are all the Avengers and Marvel stuff. So that was one question that came from that. Like, okay, what is the noise that you like the best?
Yeah. Thank you so much for asking that. It brings me to my second question. Tell us about an anecdote that didn't make it into the book and why was it removed?
To be honest, I think whatever I wanted to write made it to the book. There was one chapter I wasn't sure if I wanted to include. That's a chapter on the tonsil surgery,
Hmm.
because that is a bittersweet moment. It was really difficult for me to write because it was a very hard time as a mother, going seeing your child sick and a surgery which was supposed to be simple, having a complication. And when I wrote it, I was like really struggling to control my emotions. And I thought, do I really need this in a fun parenting humor book? But then I thought it kind of balanced it, right? It isn't sugarcoating parenting, it's giving you the full spectrum. So I would say it's a chapter on the tonsils, the troublesome tonsils. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being honest. Your turn.
One superpower you secretly crave for.
So, up till a few years ago, my answer would have been different, which was to have the capacity to go on and on without having to sleep. But now, my answer, I'm in my 30s now, so my answer is very different. I want to have the ability to eat and not exercise and be the same size for my life.
So many hearts. I think we reach so many hearts. Actually, I also want a superpower similar to this. I want to be able to write and leave the marketing to the marketing spirits. I just want to write. I don't want to do any marketing.
Oh my God, how I wish. कोई ले लो ये जिम्मेदारी यार.
I know, right? Your turn.
Okay. Okay. Which food item made you break your latest dieting resolve and how long did it last?
So my latest diet started at 10 a.m. today. At 10:23, I broke it for a very noble cause, and that noble cause is called banana chips.
Yeah. I totally vouch for that. No, we
No
can't say no
regrets.
to. Yeah, no regrets. And was that coconut oil banana chips? Then I'm totally with you.
Is there any other way to make banana chips? I'm judging you
Good
right now.
question.
I'm from Kerala, so I'm judging you. Be very careful, Manali.
I am asking you this because I am a fan of Kerala chips, and nobody
Of
else
course.
besides me in my house likes those. Only I am a fan, and I only like those. क्योंकि मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ मेरे लिए लाओगे तो और कोई नहीं मुझे केरला चिप्स ही चाहिए कोकोनट ऑयल वाली ही चाहिए आई डोंट वांट एनीथिंग एल्स प्लीज Okay, Natasha is saying I'm looking forward to reading your book. Thank you so much, Natasha, and I look forward to your thoughts. Okay.
Natasha, just a fun fact. You will enjoy Fitmel because there is a reference to your book. Just find it, okay? There is a reference to your book in one of the pages, a very subtle reference. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, ये banana chips rule and Sangeeta is saying, yeah, Kerala coconut chips are the best.
Of
Definitely. Yes.
course.
I vouch. I being West Indian, I also vouch for that. Yes. Okay, my next one. No, your turn.
Pencil, pen, or mouse, what feels most like magic?
But yeah, I mean, I don't have Sanju's pencil, so definitely not pencil. I don't know if you have followed the show Shaka Laga Boom Boom. Yes,
Yeah,
of
Shaka.
course. So no, not a pencil unless I have Sanju's pencil. Pen to a certain extent, but I think mostly for me because I am a digital slave, it would be a mouse. Yeah, because it's a way out for me for people like me who are writers and also like my writing does not match my handwriting, which is very bad, and later on I only can't decipher it, so I am a total digital slave if
So
I
they
have to
told me
write
I should
something.
be a doctor. Looking at my handwriting, they said I should be a doctor. But yeah, here I
So you
am.
can understand, yeah, you understand why
I
it's a
understand the
mouthful.
pain. No, the pain is real. I understand it fully.
Okay, my next one. Now I'm going to combine our two books, and this is the first question in that one. If you had to rename Fit Melt using your daughter's sense of humor, what would the title be?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Given the Gen Z lingo, I'd say serving looks, books, and know that ice cream ain't shook.
Oh wow, I love this. Thank you so much.
You're
I love it.
welcome.
All the Gen Z lingo has been put in.
I know,
Love.
right?
Okay, your turn.
One cap. Okay, this is also related to my book. So one caption for the Drama Mama Diaries that could fit into your graphic panels.
Hmm. I think the one where I laughed the most is when Munchkin was small and you mentioned that you forgot your phone in her diaper.
Oh, it really happened.
I have laughed so hard. I'm like, it's not happened with me, but I can totally see it happening with me if I ever become a mother and if I have a child. Since I see this happening with me. If
No, I was
yeah,
so sleep deprived and anxious, and you Google something on Google, Google will come up with a diagnosis for sure. Like, okay, something turned blue. Oh my God, this is some serious disease of, and this could be a symptom of that. So I was sure that she had the ringing rear syndrome. It was just a mobile phone stuck to the diaper.
and I think it would make a very funny moment in the in fitment. And then your I think the moment of happiness would be when you realize that she doesn't have anything chronic or anything serious. It was just your own fault, and
Yeah,
and that the phone was strapped to the diaper, and that
diaper.
was causing it. Your fan, aka Spawn, is also watching. My Spawn, not yours. Oh, okay. And Sangeeta is saying Skibidi. And Natasha is saying you. Okay, thank you. I'm so happy to see these
No,
girls are enjoying
between
us.
us, we just know a few Gen Z words and we keep repeating it. We know skibbity, we know slay, cook, then yeah, stuff like that. And we like I keep repeating it to sound intelligent, and my daughter says hashtag cringe, whatever.
Okay, Smita is saying I read that chapter today, Lalita, and couldn't stop laughing. Same
Oh,
here.
thank you so much.
Okay, your turn. No, no, my turn.
No, your turn.
Yeah, so this is my last question, and which goes, which drama mama moment in the book or from your life outside and beyond parenting unplugged would fit perfectly into fitment?
Look, to be honest, I found so many similarities. I could visualize your book in my format and my book in your format. So any conversation that I have with the Munchkin could have fit into those panels, right? Like Munchkin coming, like I'm telling Munchkin, please don't disturb me, don't eat my head. And she's saying, I can't eat your head. Why? Because we're vegetarian, we can't eat heads. Heads are not heads. So stuff like that. A lot, every conversation gets to fit in this. It's like a perfect fit, yeah.
Another incident that I really, really laughed very hard at was the one with the macaroons, and you are trying to control yourself for
That
not.
is still very.
And then you told her the auntie came to visit, the neighborhood auntie came to visit, and I had to offer those to her. And then
And she cursed that poor auntie, and I hope the poor auntie lives a very long life because this one cursed her saying she ate my macarons. वो कभी खुश नहीं रह सकती. And I'm like, हाय राम, मैंने ये क्या कर दिया? वो serial में बार बार क्या कर दिया, क्या कर दिया? So I was like that. Yeah.
love that one. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, and I can just imagine your face at that moment when she must have
Yeah.
confronted the auntie and she was like, no. So yeah, I think that would also have made a very good illustration in Fitmelt. The moment she catches you, it was you. You.
It was, oh my God, वो बड़ा, that was such a big issue, yeah. And then, but yeah.
Okay, your last one.
Okay. Which book character would you have wanted to feature in Fitmelt? Any book character, like it could be a comic, it could be a novel, somebody you wanted to draw into one of those panels along with you.
No, that's not very difficult, but I am going to sound very cliche. But still, I would say somebody from the Harry Potter King universe. Anyone. Dumbledore would have been perfect. I mean, he would have laughed his head off at the illustrations. I can just see him being this because he's also like that. His sense of humor is also like this crooked. I mean, I still laugh at Nitwit, Oddman, Blubber, and Tree. So, मुझे
Yeah.
तो मतलब, I think he would fit very well into this, and a conversation between me and Dumbledore would have been wow, like
Yeah,
explosive.
that would be cool. I don't know about you. I would have included Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, that वो वाला अलग different level of sense of humor
Different
होता
level.
है yeah. Yeah, Dumbledore's would have been dry sense of humor, and Darcy's would have been like that snarky sense of humor, which are another two different
Who
genres
said
of.
anything about humor? Looks.
Oh yeah, that yeah. Of course, eye candy is also important.
Yes.
Okay, I think that brings us to the end of this segment, and now towards the last segment of today's episode, which is the fun part where I'm going to play a fun bingo with you, which is the
Okay.
Fit Melt Bingo. I'm going
Okay.
to ask you a bunch of questions related to the illustrations and the snippets from the book. You just have to answer in yes or no. Okay? The first one.
Ah.
Witnessed a perfect sunset in the last 7 days.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Next one. Own a pair of jeans that fit just right.
Do I have to answer this question?
I understand the struggle, but so if you don't have one, that's okay. I completely get it.
It's very temperamental. Saris are forgiving, jeans not so much.
Hmm. It's okay. I get that. Okay, next one. Ate ice cream before it melted.
Of course, yes. Yes.
And on that note, I also have to mention there is a lot of ice cream in Lalita's book also. Go check it out.
Ice cream, brownies, French fries, सब कुछ.
And we have already talked about macaroons. वो भी है. बहुत सारे. Okay, next one. Nailed a witty comeback at the right time.
Oh, yes. Every day, yes.
Great. Okay, next one. Went on a peaceful walk alone.
Yes, I walk a lot, yeah.
Okay. Next one. Got lost in a great book.
Oh, yes, all the time.
Since you have said yes, and a recent read of yours has been mine, so I'm going to assume this was for my book.
Of course, Fitmed. Of course, it was a Fitmed. That's the last book I read.
Okay. Next one. Took a shower without adjusting the knobs in the past week.
Those showers don't exist.
No?
No, those don't exist. Of course, they don't exist. You have
You
to keep
always have to
adjusting hot,
adjust,
cold,
yes.
hot, cold.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Took up a new hobby or did something creative.
Did something creative, yes.
Awesome. Next one. Heard a song you forgot you loved.
Eh, no, not recently, but fell in love with a song that I first hated.
Oh,
Like,
oh. Change of
it is a
heart.
song. No, there was just, it's just, how do I say, proximity. Like, it keeps getting played on, like that song from Param Sundari, the Danger song. It is so ridiculous, but it
Oh.
just stays in your head. Yeah.
Red Sari with danger. Yes, I know. And it is played so constantly around you that you get, used to it and
Yeah,
then
and I'm
you
like,
catch
it is
on.
so ridiculous because it's got Malayalam lyrics which are, yeah, really ridiculous, but it just stays in your head, it lives in it rent free, and it won't go. So, yeah.
Okay, next one. Found an old note or photo.
Yeah,
Oh, lovely. Next one. Spotted a rainbow in the past year.
of course, yes.
Awesome. I've added a year in this particular pointer because I know a lot of my guests live in India and spotting rainbows in India is like spotting a unicorn. So
Okay, here we find, I mean, it's
yeah,
quite
I
common.
understand. Singapore and I also live in the Netherlands, so it's very common. We get to
Yeah.
witness that. Next one. Had a random idea that sparked joy.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Next one. Took yourself out on a date or day out.
No, not in a long time.
I empathize. Please make time for yourself and do it. It's really fun.
Yeah,
Next one. Smelled something baking.
all the time. You walk in a mall, it's my nose that's on high alert.
Yeah, I get that. Next one. Had a good hair day in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Hmm,
I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next one. Pop the bubble wrap.
Oh, yes. Yes. I
Lovely.
love it. Yes.
Okay. Next one. Ate your comfort food.
Yes.
Awesome. Next one. Gazed at the moon in silence.
Mm, when? I think about a month ago I did. There was a full moon night, so I was looking out. Yes,
Okay.
about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Next one. Bought something that made you giddy.
No.
No. Hmm.
No. No.
And the last one. Reconnected with an old friend.
Oh, yes. 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 Because with my book coming out, I've been reconnecting with a lot of old friends, and it's absolutely lovely, like, to talk to them. And yeah.
Awesome. So you've done pretty well. I think you answered yes on more than 50% of the bingo, which means really well done. Awesome. You are living your life and enjoying the little moments. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I'm just going to quickly scroll and see if we missed out on any questions. We will
Sure.
be here for a few more seconds. Those of you who are watching us and would like to ask us any questions, please ask in the comments. And anything else you want to say, Lalita?
Oh, I think it was lovely. I mean, this is the first interview or discussion I'm having on my book. So I'm like really, really excited, and thank you for making me feel so comfortable. I just love being on the show. I love the format, and I love how informal the
Thank
discussion
you.
is. And the book's vibes match a lot, so it made it very easy for us to discuss. Yeah.
Yes, and on that note, those of you who are watching us, if you can take a screenshot of us, I'm going to hold the Lalita's book, and you please take a screenshot of us.
Okay, wait. Just a second. I'll see if I can get the cover of your book. I have it on Kindle, so yeah, if I can figure out how to show the cover, I can. Where am I? Ah.
Is saying great chat, girls. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. All right. Ah, I'm lucky. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It keeps going back. It keeps going back. Yeah, yeah. Quick one. Oh,
And
I,
hold
I
it,
don't think I.
hold it like this. Keep your finger here so that it stays.
Okay.
Uh,
Sorry, I am trying to. Okay. Okay.
It's
Then
okay.
what?
You can hold your own book. We can take a screenshot of that also.
Okay, why don't I hold one of the illustrations? Because I really, yeah, for whatever reason. Actually, you know what?
एक काम
Forget
करते
it.
हैं. I have a better idea. You hold the paperback of your book. I'll hold my cover.
Okay.
वही
Perfect.
कर.
Perfect. I think that will work because this is, yeah,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
You hold your paperback and I'm holding my Kindle. Yes, please someone take a screenshot. And this is the first time that Lalita is doing a promotional Instagram for her books. I'm very happy that she debuted with my show with this book. Thank you so much, Nilshri.
Thank you very much.
And so much fun having you on the show and smile throughout the conversation, Smita is saying. Thank you so much, Smita. And thank you everyone for
Thank you
joining
everyone for
us.
joining.
And I asked this question to most of my guests, especially to with those guests that I had a lot of fun with. So I'm going to ask you also, when are you writing the next book so I can invite you again?
I'll let you know. Fingers crossed.
I mean, and I hope it's not an anthology and it's going to be your own book because I know that you are very hesitant to join me on the show with anthologies. So write your
No,
own
it
book.
should be a solo book, hopefully, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And Nilshri and Sangeeta have taken the screenshot. Thank you so much, girls. And thank you for joining us. Have a great week ahead because this is already a Sunday and the weekend is ending. So have a great work week and the following month. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Sangeeta.
you.